All right, let's talk about something we all rely on every single day but almost never actually see. I'm talking about the hidden, super complex, and absolutely vital world of supply chains. You know, that invisible network that somehow gets everything you buy from a factory floor, maybe halfway across the world, right into your hands.
So, you ever had this happen? You go to the store, you're on a mission for that one specific thing, and empty shelf. It is the worst feeling, right? That frustration? Well, what if I told you that one empty spot is actually a tiny little clue to a massive global puzzle?
The reason that shelf is empty, and maybe more importantly, the reason it's almost always full, it all comes down to this incredibly complex dance. We're talking about a system with thousands of moving parts, all working together just to stop that moment of disappointment from ever happening.
So what exactly is an integrated supply chain? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a team. You've got your factories, your warehouses, your trucks and trains, but the real secret sauce is the information they all share. The key word here is sync. They work in perfect sync, and the whole thing is driven by one simple thing: what you and I decide to buy.
Okay, to really get how this works, we need to look at an example. Let's meet the players in this game. And you know, chain is a good word, but I think relay race is even better. Each part has to hand off the baton perfectly to the next, all to win the race to your front door. All right, so here's the track for our relay race. Step 1, it all starts at the Able plant. This is where they make the intermediate parts. Think of it like the raw fabric for a winter coat. Then, step 2, that fabric gets shipped by rail over to the Baker and Chauncey plants. These guys are the finishers. They're the ones who actually stitch together the final coat you'd buy in a store. And then finally, that finished coat gets delivered to you, the customer. Seems simple enough, right? But there's a catch.
And here's where our story gets interesting, because every good story needs a problem to solve. In the world of supply chains, the big villain is usually unpredictability. And in our little relay race, we've got a tale of two completely different kinds of customer demand.
So, you've got the Baker plant. Life is good for them. Their customers are steady, predictable. They buy about the same amount of stuff all year round. Easy peasy. But then you have the Chauncey plant. Oh man, their customers are, let's call them moody. Their demand is a total roller coaster. One month it's dead quiet, the next it's an absolute madhouse. And trying to plan for that, it's a huge headache.
Let's actually put some numbers on this. Check out the demand for the Chauncey plant. In January, during the slow season, they're looking at an average of 17 rail cars of orders a day. Pretty manageable. But then, look at June. It jumps all the way to 24. That is a 41% increase. Think about that. How is a single factory supposed to deal with a swing that big?
And this right here, this is what keeps supply chain managers up at night. During that summer peak, demand is screaming along at 24 cars a day. But the factory, even if they run it 24/7, full blast, the absolute most they can crank out is 27. They are living right on the edge. There's almost zero room for error. One machine breaks down, one train gets delayed, and boom, empty shelves.
So this is the heart of the problem, right? You've got a factory with a fixed capacity. It can only make so much stuff in a day. And then you've got customer demand that's all over the place, sometimes asking for way more than the factory can possibly make. How on earth do you solve that puzzle?
Well, this is where the magic happens. This is where a smart computer model comes in. It's like the coach of the team, looking at the whole field, analyzing everything, and then drawing up the perfect playbook to handle that crazy seasonal rush without even breaking a sweat.
And the strategy it comes up with? It's actually brilliantly simple. I mean, think about it. If you know a huge storm is on the way, you don't just wait around for the rain to start falling, right? You prepare. And that's exactly what the model's plan is. In 2 words, build ahead.
So here's the play-by-play. Step 1. During those quiet months, from January to March, the Chauncey plant makes one extra rail car of product every single day. Just one. Step 2. They don't ship it out. They stick it in a warehouse, creating this saved inventory, a buffer. It's basically like putting money in a savings account. And then, step 3, when that summer rush starts in April, they start withdrawing from that saved inventory to meet all the extra demand. It's just so smart.
So you might be wondering, how does the factory know exactly how much to make each day? The model gives it this super simple, elegant logic. It just says, figure out the perfect amount you want to have in stock, then subtract what you already have. And whatever's left, that's what you make today. It's this constant little balancing act to stay right on target. And the shipping logic? Oh, it's even smarter. It's not just about looking backward at what was sold yesterday. No. The model tells the main plant what to ship based on what's needed right now, plus what it predicts customers are going to want 10 days from now. During the time the shipment is literally on a train. It's actually planning for the future, not just reacting to the past.
Okay, so we've got this awesome, clever plan. But how do we grade it? How do we know if it's actually a success? Well, at the end of the day, all the clever planning in the world doesn't matter if it doesn't achieve the main goal. And it's not about how busy the factory is. It's all about one thing: the customer.
And the way they measure this is with something called service level. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple and powerful idea. All it asks is, on what percentage of days did we have enough stuff on hand to fill every single customer order right away with no delays? That's it. It's the ultimate report card for the entire system. But what grade are they actually aiming for?
You might think the goal would be 100%, right? Perfect service, but that's actually not the smart move. To hit 100%, you'd have to keep a ridiculous amount of extra stuff in warehouses just in case, and that costs a fortune. So the smart, calculated target is 95%. It's a trade-off. It's balancing the cost of keeping that inventory versus the cost of maybe losing a sale once in a while. 95% means that 19 out of every 20 days, the customer gets exactly what they want. That is a really high bar.
And this really gets to the core philosophy of how modern supply chains think. It's okay if one of the plants, like the one making the parts, occasionally runs out of stuff. Perfection inside the system isn't the goal. The only thing that matters is that final customer service level. As long as the customer is happy, the system is working. It's all about being smart, not perfect. It's about planning ahead instead of scrambling to catch up.
So this whole model is an absolutely brilliant way to handle the stuff you can predict, like summer and winter, the ups and downs of the seasons. But it does leave us with one huge question. This build-ahead strategy is great when you know the storm is coming. But what happens when something totally unexpected strikes? Something that no model, no matter how smart, could ever see coming? Well, that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?